Welcome back to the show. Securitize, Blackrock, VanEck, and Ripple, Real USD, and XRP. So much more, like Supply Shock. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $4.27 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 0.5%. Right now, Bitcoin 122,800 plus, Ethereum 4,300 plus. XRP slips all the way down to the number 5 spot, ladies and gentlemen. The number 5 spot. XRP at 283, we see we're off by 1.8 on the 24 and off 5.5 on the 7-day. It doesn't bother me because I think this is the way these things happen right before the market explodes. It's not financial advice. I've been here a long time. And if you look at charts previously, historically, you see like these real quick drawdowns before we do get those explosions. And we've got a lot of fundamental news that suggests we got some great things coming our way. How great? Nobody really knows. But isn't that the fun of being here? Well, let's look at the range of price. Ranging between 279 and not one of you called the house. You know what I mean? Band of brothers, rent it sometime. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. Dip down there again. Let me catch you down there again as we head into this weekend. I know it's only Thursday, but I know the weekend's coming. Prices usually roll over a bit historically, generally speaking. If we get down in that 270 range again, I'm telling you, I'm going to have to take the kitchen sink, put it on eBay. I know what to do, not financial advice. I tell you what else I know to do. It's Caleb and Brown, and you can too. And I don't care what anybody says. When someone tells you it's not to their standards, that means they do have institutional custody. And they just want you to think that they don't. That's exactly what's going on. Let me tell you what else Caleb and Brown won't do. Caleb and Brown will not borrow against your assets, okay? Because that's a very dangerous thing to do. Others do that, but not Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown doesn't do that. They give you institutional grade custody, and they give that to you for free. And it is institutional grade custody across the planet. That's what to everyone, and it's nonsense. It is a simpleton that tries to sell you anything short of that. So the reality here is that this is a great place to put your assets. They don't charge you a thing to do it. How about that one? Nothing, zero, not a zip. They charge you nothing to use institutional grade custody. Okay. And I tell you, you can also add special restrictions onto your account to go along with the multiple layers of security that's provided at Caleb and Brown. It's a remarkable experience, I tell you. You know, you get personal touch to a real person. You can talk to a human being. It's quite amazing. And I've never experienced it anywhere else in the crypto space except here. And that convenience and ease of use comes with one flat fee. And by the way, a large enough withdrawal, you build a relationship with your broker, you can negotiate that fee, that one flat fee, because there's no hidden fees either. Click the link below or go to xrpwealth589.com and get started today, because it is institutional grade custody. Oh, goodness. SEC chair confirms plan to formalize innovation exemption before end of year. This is more signaling here from the SEC chair, Paul Atkins, telling us that he is committed to embracing crypto innovation and formalizing an innovation exemption. And this sounds a lot like a safe harbor, what Hester Person talked about for years while Gary Gensler chased everyone in the crypto space, right? So this is what an amazing turn of events the election has been for us in this innovation place we're in with crypto. Sal Gerberti here, we love this guy, president of Tucrium Trading, just said it himself. Just take a listen to this right here.
Cultural based, and then you decide to venture out into cryptocurrency, specifically XRP. What was the thinking there?
Well, we had filed for Bitcoin before, and we do have crypto interests, and I'm an XRP enthusiast. And when I saw the opportunity to file and get it approved, and really not holding XRP itself, but holding the derivatives so that we could leverage it and give investors what they want. They clearly want some leverage. We got a great ticker, double XRP, XXRP, and it took off. It was a big hit immediately, right out the door.
And if you could put on a forecasting hat, as somebody who looks at the fund flows, look at the industry. Where do you think else in the crypto sphere is ripe for even more activity with regard to cryptocurrencies that's outside the realm of XRP, Ethereum, and of course, Bitcoin?
Honestly, I think picking the next coin is harder than people need to catch the wave of what crypto and the blockchain is doing to business. This really is the internet in the 1990s. I think there's a sea change coming, and picking the companies that are going to use whatever cryptocurrency comes next is going to be the big trick and the trick to big wealth.
Do you think that there is going to be an ETF boom in companies in that ecosystem?
No question.
All right.
There you have it. Now, look, there is a big boom. We announced yesterday that Granite Shares has officially filed for an XRP ETF with the SEC, and this one features 3 times long and 3 times short the leverage exposure to XRP's price. Now, I said yesterday, this is a great way to lose your shirt if you don't know what you're doing. If you bet 100, if you put up 100, you got 300, right? So you could lose 300, you could gain 300. So I know it sounds exciting, but please make sure you understand exactly what's happening here and what the risk and reward are. So this is Scott Melker, and I think he says it pretty good. And it doesn't mean it's about he explains it. You listen.
3x levered ETFs for Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and XRP. We're doing it again, guys. You're doing it again. If you want to know what can put in the top, even amongst all these flows, it's going to be treasury companies taking on unnecessary risk and jackass moron idiots using 3x levered ETFs. Bitcoin's bad enough, ETH pretty bad, Sol horrendous, XRP disgusting. Not because of the assets. I'm not saying XRP is disgusting. That's up to you to decide. I'm saying with the volatility of altcoins, having 3x levered ETFs is absolute insanity.
And I think he's got it spot on. He's not wrong here. Anything leveraged 3 times is a great way to lose your shirt. I mean, you got to be super careful out here, and it doesn't matter what the asset is. 3 times leverage, you better know what you're doing. And here's a new commercial from Ripple themselves: banking, bonds, currency, and markets. The entire financial landscape is evolving. Blockchain is a powerful engine that creates groundbreaking opportunities for global businesses. Take a listen.
It's happening right now. It's happening to banking, and it's happening with Ripple. Blockchain, crypto, customers and suppliers are paying with it and making real-time settlements around the world. So it's happening to bonds, currency, markets, almost anything. Because if change is happening in finance, then it's happening everywhere. And it's happening with Ripple. It's happening.
There you have it right there. Ripple's rolling out their whole new offering to the institutional financial landscape. That's exactly what they're doing here. And they're doing it on the cusp of getting this legislation passed, signed into law, which I believe will happen. We're on day 9 of the government shutdown. I'm not worried about it. I got to be honest with you. Because let's take a look at this. Breaking. S&P Dow Jones includes XRP in its new crypto broad digital market index. Another step toward full institutional recognition of traditional finance is watching. Yeah, this is a clear embrace of all of these assets, for which it's Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Binance Coin, Solana, Tron, and Cardano, Chainlink, Avalanche, and Hyperliquid. That's what's in there right now. And that is being listed here with the S&P Dow Jones. I mean, just think of the embrace here and the amount of money that's going to come in to this fund looking for exposure in this index. My goodness. I mean, first thought is, it's like, grace sakes. I mean, you could take your gains from something and roll it into an index, you know what I mean, where you get a more balanced kind of, there's a difference between the money you're investing for a gain and then rich money, like money you're trying to live off of, right? You want to put that in a more safe place, right? You want that to be in a place where it's got less risk at some point and earning you a very solid, low, but solid return with very minimal risk. That's what you're looking for, right? Or at least I am, I can tell you that. But this is super exciting because the amount of money that's going to tap into. Now, we know Ripple had selected BNY Mellon for their custody of real USD. That's not breaking news. So I want to build this to where we're going here. This is, in fact, Caroline Butler, the CEO of digital assets at BNY Mellon. Just listen to a piece of this.
As the world's largest custodian with more than 52 trillion of assets in custody, BNY helps companies and banks, big and small, access the money they need. BNY plays a central role in supporting U.S. Treasury markets.
Plays a central role in U.S. Treasury markets.
And process approximately 2.4 trillion of payments per day across all payment rails.
Across all payment rails, 2.4 trillion every single day. And then we saw this come out just a day or two ago, and it was BNY Mellon exploring tokenized deposits and blockchain-based payments. Well, this was from back in March of this year. So they've been doing it. And this is just announcing that they're getting ready to roll it out. And now that 52 trillion is now 55 trillion. And we know
was in the decision
Ripple's involved.
Taking that step.
Sure. So for quite a while, we've been enabling stable coins, like Circle and others. The announcement, I think, is Ripple, Open Eden recently as well.
There you have it, right? I don't want to keep going. We don't need to play the whole clip because Securitize and Ripple are bringing crypto mainstream. Now that I was showing you BNY Mellon connection and about what they're getting ready to roll out with blockchain, money markets, tokenization, stable coins, all of that. Now we see Securitize and Ripple coming together with behemoths like Blackrock and VanEck announce plans to tokenize money market funds through Securitize. Fund holders will be able to redeem fund assets for real USD directly on chain. It's time to tokenize the world. This is where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. XRP ledger, baby. People aren't ready for what's coming. That's where we're getting ready to be here. And that legislation is that wave. And it's all the financial institutions behind it that make that wave up. As soon as it's passed and signed into law, it's going to engulf all of crypto. And crypto itself will be a very small part of the pie because it is the tokenization of the traditional financial sector of every part of that economy. That is the larger part of the pie, right? So then we have this. Now Patrick Bet-David is back talking about Swift and whether Ripple will replace them. Take a listen.
Great point, Tom. What a great point. ACH is younger than Wire, yet Wire is faster. So you're saying
with 10 warnings on it. When you click here, the other bank's going to get it. Be sure it's a bank.
Yeah, but you got guys, you hear Ripple, XRP, Swift, what that could do, and you saw how much money was put into Ripple just in the last couple of days, record-breaking for them as well, XRP. So what is your thoughts with that?
Yeah, I think that Swift is a very antiquated system, and it's funny how it's actually like a messaging device where you say, hey, we're sending you over X amount of money, like, okay, then the bank adjusts accordingly. So it doesn't actually send money as far as I understand it. But all the stats I've seen on how fast Ripple could do it, or any of the others that are competitors for that, they could do it much faster, much more cheaply. And that's really the pain point of replacing that system, is because you can't send money, a large amount of money to somebody in another place in the world instantly right now.
You're not alone. A lot of people are thinking that. A lot of people are saying that. We had a meeting last week, Tom, you and I at Casa D'Angelo, with a guy that's working with a different coin that people are talking about. But
well, there you have it. That's the conversation. And this is on Valuetainment, Patrick Bet-David's podcast. Now, this is drifting outside of crypto now, and this is the second time he's brought up Ripple and XRP replacing Swift. How long before the BNY Mellons, the Citibanks, the Securitize, BlackRock, VanEck, Swift cause a supply shock? This is a serious question. I don't know the answer, but at some point, if XRP is truly coveted in the financial system for its true intended use, then there will be a supply shock. We just don't know when or how fast it'll happen. But that's what we're waiting to find out here. And it does appear from everything that we've looked at that the financial institutions and that side of the fence, the legacy financial side of the fence, is chomping at the bit to get an opportunity to participate with digital assets in their business model. And where that's going to take us, no one quite knows. But I tell you what, it's exciting that we're here together. And I'm not kidding. You know, I missed the dot-com boom. I didn't miss it. I watched it. I watched it and talked about it, hanging out with friends at work and all the things I was doing. I commented, oh man, that Facebook's going to be something. That's going to be big. That Google's going to be enormous. Amazon's going to be big. First, I started out, who wants a book? And then I realized what was going on. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's going to be enormous, right? So I sat back and talked about it as if I wasn't even allowed to participate as an investor. What a mistake that was. Now, I was very hyper-focused and becoming very accomplished in a different part of my life, and that's where my focus was. But which is why I say all the time to my family and friends, awareness is the greatest skill that any man or woman could have in this world, because there are people with multiple degrees that are walking on the street homeless today. And then there's people with no degrees that are extremely wealthy and happy. So it isn't an education that solves the problem. It's awareness. And when you have it, you can make decisions based on that awareness that you didn't have the day before. And I hope some way that awareness hits you today. Now take a look at this. Gert Van Lagen says his awareness, when he looks at the charts, tells him XRP's targeting 20 plus. Doesn't matter about this pullback right now for him. So that's where we're at. We'll have to see if it happens. It's not financial advice from me, him, or anyone else. We're going into the freedom zone. Oh, we got lots to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a deal made, and you're going to want to know about it. And then we've got another thing you need to see too, which is the danger of a digital world. And it starts with digital ID. You can click the link below and join us inside the Freedom Zone. You can join on YouTube, Patreon, or on X, wherever you choose to. Same price, same perks, all your daily videos with 0 Google ads and the extra content we're going to jump into right now. So come on in.